Hello everybody, and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today we're going to be talking about some Star Wars news, because, man, there's a crap ton of Star Wars content that's about to be coming to Disney+. Not so much to theaters, which is interesting, seeing that Star Wars as a franchise was best noted for, innovating theater spaces, but hey, we all know with HBO Max's recent announcement and now with Disney, it seems like the major studios are totally leaving theaters behind because, at the end of the day, screw the movie theaters. But before diving into some of this news, please make sure to smash the like button and also hit the subscribe and that bell notification on. That way you know every time a new video goes live and also when I go live as well. So there's a lot of content that's being released, 10 Star Wars series and 10 Marvel series and more to debut on Disney+. Note, series, not movies, which again is interesting because it means that, as I suspected, you'll see a lot of these studios move content strictly to their streaming services, so that way they get more of the money, they get direct cash flow there, and also they can spend much less money as well, rather than spending crap tons of money on giant big budget films, which I think, honestly, after this year and after their recent announcements, I think will be a thing of the past in general. However, I will say the biggest news of all has to do with the fact that out of all of the announcements, one thing that seemed to be lacking was that Rian Johnson trilogy. Remember that trilogy that Rian Johnson said he was working on and it was totally going to happen, and even, people at Star Wars, like Kathleen Kennedy was like, yeah, totally going to happen. Well, they just announced everything they're doing, and, it's not really happening. What I can say is happening is one of the worst things about Star Wars is still here because she's right in the middle of your screen, and that's Kathleen Kennedy. This would have been so much more exciting had she not been on the screen, had she not been the one announcing it. See, honestly, I think Jon Favreau should have been taking this moment to say, I am the new head of Lucasfilm because I am the one that should be the head of Lucasfilm because I'm the only one actually doing anything positive for Lucasfilm these days. And I'm going to announce these series because that actually would have been worth watching. But instead, I'd much rather just wait until all of this stuff was done and then start to go through the content that has been announced thus far. Some pretty cool announcements, though, was the fact that in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, Hayden Christensen will be coming back as Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader, which will be interesting to see what role he plays there. Are they going to do flashbacks to Anakin Skywalker? Or is he just going to be in the Darth Vader suit? I mean, there's a lot of questions that I have about how that's actually going to work out, but then again, it's going to be an interesting series nonetheless with all the behind-the-scenes stuff that we've heard about, some of the things with casting and writing as well. And also, Lando series by the creator of Dear White People. Yeah, I'm sure that's not going to be woke at all. So it looks like the wokeness is still very much alive at Lucasfilm, which is the reason why I don't have too much excitement for these various series. However, there are a couple of things that do have some potential because of some awesome people that might be attached. But let's go ahead and dive into what we have so far. Presaging a massive expansion of Disney Plus programming, Disney announced on Thursday at least 35 new titles from Lucasfilm, Marvel Studios, Disney Animation, and Pixar Animation will be coming to the streaming service starting in 2021. Once again, pretty much copying HBO Max here, it seems. Kareem Daniel, Disney's new distribution chief, announced during the Disney Investor Day presentation that 10 Star Wars series, 10 Marvel series, and 15 Disney and Pixar animation series will be coming to Disney+. He did not specify the time frame and promised further specifics will be announced by Executive Chairman Bob Iger and other Disney executives later in the presentation. Perhaps the biggest surprise was announcement of 10 Star Wars series, the most aggressive creative expansion of the franchise since Disney acquired Lucasfilm in 2012. To date, Disney has released 5 Star Wars feature films and 1 series. And note that they're going to release, and they've just announced 10 new series, no movies. Again, interesting how that works out the way that it does. And once again, Rian Johnson, where's that trilogy? Where's that trilogy? I'm just wondering. Again, Tugs left the comment. Shout out to Tug, that Tug Life on Twitter. Do you know where it is? Because I can't seem to find it. Let me go ahead and go to Rian Johnson's page right here. Pretty quiet. People are still, doing stuff with your poor crap. You got anything to say to us? No? Quiet? Okay. That's what I thought. But could they announce a series at some point or movies at some point in the future? Maybe. It looks like this is mostly stuff that was geared specifically towards Disney Plus, so they could still easily spin it and say, well, this was all Disney Plus content, and so we're still going to do movies. We just don't know exactly when because, theaters are dying. And so the best thing that we can do is spend an entire year dedicated to more series exclusively on our streaming service and not putting out more content into theaters. Sorry, movie theaters. Notably, Daniel said nothing about new Star Wars feature films, but later in the Investor Day presentation, Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy outlined several other series in various stages of development and highlighted 2 features, Star Wars Rogue Squadron from Patty Jenkins and the untitled Star Wars feature in development from Thor Ragnarok director Taika Waititi. So there are 2 films in development, but we don't know exactly where they are. So the brand new one there was Rogue Squadron, which could be really good. Again, Patty Jenkins is a competent director, so she could give us something pretty decent, but also at the same time, she is someone that is willing to take $10 million bonuses to say nice things about a streaming service, so who knows what's going to happen with Patty Jenkins and that film, but hey, could have some potential, maybe. And then, of course, Taika Waititi is all about trolling people, and so, yeah, I like Thor Ragnarok. I'm still one of the few people that I'm friends with on the YouTube sphere that seem to have liked that movie, but you know what? Yeah, I guess that's kind of in development too. But yeah, no Rian Johnson trilogy. And we don't know where these movies are as far as the development is concerned. So Star Wars is in great hands, everybody. But vast majority of Kennedy's time was spent outlining the new Star Wars series, including, because again, it's all about streaming in 2021, screw movie theaters. Andor Rogue One prequel series, which no one asked for, seriously, about one of the most uninteresting characters of all time, Diego Luna's Cassian Andor, that's currently in production and will debut in 2022. Obi-Wan Kenobi, starring Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, reprising their roles from the prequel movie trilogy, which will go into production in March 2021, so not in production yet. The Rangers of the New Republic, and Ahsoka direct spinoffs of The Mandalorian from Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. So those actually I do have some potential for. Dave Filoni with live action has kind of gotten a hit and miss record, so looks like he'll probably I imagine he'll be the one directly behind the Ahsoka series. However, based on what we saw in the first appearance of Ahsoka, if it's more of that could be good, but once again, hit and miss there. Definitely excited for Jon Favreau to continue to show us that he is the only one that seems to, at least right now, working in Star Wars, understand Star Wars to at least somewhat of a competent level with the Rangers of the New Republic. And as long as this film, or rather this series, which many speculate, might be a starring role for Gina Carano, if that is indeed the case, that would be the only thing I think that would have me very much excited for this series. So we'll have to wait and see exactly if we find out more information. Here's that diversity project, as I mentioned earlier, Lando, a new spin-off series from Dear White People creator Justin Simien, following Lando Calrissian. Yes, the Dear White People person. Yeah, that's not going to be woke at all. The Acolyte. Yes. A female-centric series. Ooh, gotta stress the female-centric series, set in the final days of the High Republic era from Leslie Headland, who we talked about previously on the channel, who is woke as hell. And so I have no real desire to watch that series at all because it's also High Republic era. Again, also, remember that board of High Republic ideas, dinosaurs, and diversity. That's what everyone wants. Star Wars The Bad Batch, the animated follow-up to the animated series Star Wars Clone Wars. If it's done by Dave Filoni, if it's in the similar spirit, and if it is indeed focused on The Bad Batch and not the Martez sisters, that could be okay. Star Wars Visions, an anthology collection of short films set in the Star Wars universe from 10 different Japanese animation creators, which will debut in 2021. Now that could be good. It had me at Japanese animation creators. So 10 short films, I'm assuming animated short films, set in the universe, an anthology series, that could be good. That could be good. Again, I have to say this with a grain of salt because Kathleen Kennedy is still the one in charge. Remember when everyone was saying, oh yeah, Kathleen Kennedy, she's done. And I kept saying, all right, you're saying she's done. I'll talk about it, but it'd be really nice to have some proof of that. Oh yeah, she's gone. She's done. And then they couldn't provide proof and, oh, she's still here. Well, announcing whole slates of series and she's not involved. She has no power anymore. Seems to still have some power. Just gonna put it out there. A Droid Story, an animated series from Lucasfilm Animation and Lucasfilm's visual effects team that sets R2-D2 and C-3PO on a new adventure. looks like that'll probably be a kid's show, not like what we'd find in The Bad Batch, because Clone Wars to me, yeah, it's an animation, yeah, it may have been meant to be a kid's show, you know, but it was more of a family show, right? I feel like people of all different ages could enjoy it. For those counting, along with The Mandalorian, that makes up all 10 promised Star Wars titles. Marvel Studios, by contrast, has already announced 8 titles for Disney+, almost all of which are in some development or production. WandaVision, which will premiere on January 15th, which looks weird as hell. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Loki are expected to debut in the first half of 2021 as well. Again, both of those series don't know a whole lot about. Loki could be good. Falcon and Winter Soldier, no. The animated series What If and live-action series Ms. Marvel, which everyone asked for, of course, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk, and an untitled series focusing on Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury are all in the pipeline as well. So some things that could be good there. Who knows? But obviously, most of this video was meant to be focusing on the Star Wars content and the Star Wars announcements. So we do have 2 films. One that will be by Patty Jenkins, which is new, and one that will be by Taika Waititi, which we've known about. It's untitled. Who knows when it's actually going to happen? And he's an ass, so I don't really care much for that. And I like his movies, which is sad. And then Patty Jenkins, which, again, Rogue Squadron could be really good. Hopefully she sticks to the source material. But by the way, remember that source material is stuff that Kathleen Kennedy didn't know existed. Does she know it exists? Did she read any of the source material since that interview? Probably not, but it is what it is. What are your thoughts, though? Are you excited about all the new Star Wars content? Again, there's part of me that wants to be excited. There's stuff in here that I think could be really good, especially that series that might feature a lead role from Gina Carano. Again, that could be awesome because Gina Carano is bae, as we all know if you follow her on Twitter at all. It'd be really cool to see that happen. But there are other things, too, that I think have some potential going forward. I think Jon Favreau is good hands to have in a series. I think Dave Filoni is mixed. Again, you look to that last season of Clone Wars, and half the episodes, actually more than half the episodes, were fantastic, were wonderful. And then 4 episodes on the Martez sisters were complete utter crap, which goes to show you that if he's asked to do and does any kind of diversity crap and does diversity for the sake of diversity, it's going to be really bad, which is why I think the Lando series is going to be complete and utter garbage. It'll be interesting to see if that series even gets completely made, to be perfectly honest, because we all know none of these series, none of these productions have ever had problems behind the scenes, ever. Never, ever. Kathleen Kennedy has never butted heads with anyone. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But let me know your thoughts about all these things in the comment section below. If you like this video, smash the like button, hit that subscribe. It does help out a lot. Check out the links in the description of the video to find out better ways to help out the channel if you so choose. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my December Patreon and Subscribe Star members, starting off with Patreon, Albertus Magnus, Andrew Hoyle, Animation Commentator, Brian P., Dion, Divex, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, Hail to you, Father, Father Damian Cook, Garrett Searles, Harold Francis, The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jacob Juice, Jeffrey Toon, Jonathan Carney, Kenneth Camille, Laura Story, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mike Jackson, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, On to June, Orange Hat Reviews, Out of Step with Reality, Outpost Dyer, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Miss Martin Muses, also known as Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, Tina Bogend, Tina B, and the Modern Major General, Laura Story. Gotta give you that shout out for that one time that you were doubled up. Thank you very much for being my Patreon members. And now a huge shout out to all of my December Subscribe Star members we have over there with Stand For, Perpetual Punster, Robert Revo, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, Darkstar 57, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nevadon G. Adams, and ZK Man. Thank you all so much for being my Patreon and Subscribe Star members. If you want your name shouted out at the end of every video and live stream on the main channel, please consider joining over on those platforms. You can also get access to things like exclusive giveaways of 4Ks, Blu-rays. If you want a DVD, I guess you could also get a DVD as well, digital codes, and of course, you get to possibly join me on the channel once a month for the Chosen of Valhalla live stream and access to an exclusive podcast featuring John the Flick Pick Flickinger, where we have a lot of fun talking about movies and tons of other random things. Anyway, if you want to support these things, check out the links in the description of this video. And also, please consider joining my other channel, the OMB Report, where I talk about not just movies like I do over here, but I focus more so on politics, news, and culture in that order. You guys are all amazing. Thank you for your love and support. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.